Will you throw a monkey into the water and expect that monkey to do very well in there? Will you take a fish outside the water? If you do so, that fish will literally die after some time. The energy of that fish will be slowly consumed. How many people in society nowadays are losing their life force every day of their lives? How many people are being consumed like that fish outside the water, or like that monkey being forced to swim in an environment which is foreign to him? But how happy will that fish be if it could be inside the water again? Many people nowadays, they have jobs which are not representing their true nature, and which are not in harmony with their true talents and with what they have to offer to the world. I'm talking about this topic because if your job is not in harmony with your spirit and with your mission on earth, or simply not in harmony with your joy and your excitement, then that job is consuming your life force little by little, like that fish outside the water. And let me tell you that what brings you joy and excitement, it's also what will bring healing to the whole planet. You feel joy and excitement about something because that's the place where you have to be. Joy is the hand of God telling you which part of the puzzle of humanity you have to play, for that puzzle to bring the best version of humanity that can exist. So you feeling joy about what you do is not important just for you, it's important for everybody else on earth. Believe it or not, when you follow your true calling, you are also following what will benefit everybody else. Also, if you don't have a good reason to stay on earth, something which you feel it's your mission, you may consciously or subconsciously create a wish to go, a wish to die. I'm talking about it because that wish may deteriorate your body, and it may be a big obstacle for you to achieve immortality. Money is not a negative thing, but let me tell you how you sometimes fall into the money trap, and how that ends up never giving you what it's promising you. Just imagine that you have all the money in the world. Think about what would you like to buy, what would you like to achieve with that money. You may say, I want to buy freedom. I want to be able to do whatever I want to do. You may say, I would like to have a lot of expensive cars. Okay. But what is there behind that wish of having a lot of expensive cars? The wish is to be admired, to be powerful, to be somebody that people look up to. So you don't want expensive cars, what you want is respect and admiration. You may say, I want to buy comfort and beauty. I want to buy peace, security. All those things are important. Those are needs that you need to fulfill. But think about it. Let's say you want to buy beauty, and you have a job that you don't enjoy. Okay, you go to your job every day, and that job is diminishing your life force. That job is causing you stress. All those things are making you look way worse than what you should look like naturally. Then you finish your job, and then you buy all those expensive clothes or creams just to make up for all the stress and unhappiness that you had to go through on your job. And what will happen is that through the years, There won't be any massage, any cream, or anything which can make up for hours and hours of your soul being exploded in an environment which is not in harmony with your soul. And it will be a never-ending cycle, because your job will be causing you a physical problem. Then you will need money to pay to solve that problem, and you will feel even more that you need your job. But if you never had that job, there will be no problem to have to pay for. You say you want to buy freedom. Okay, you cannot buy freedom if you are spending your life in a job that you don't like. I know that sounds simple, but yes, you can buy pieces of freedom. You can buy expensive holidays, but it's just an illusion of freedom. Even if you say, okay, I will work so hard for so many years, and after that I will not work anymore because I will have kept a lot of money. That won't work either. Because your mentality, your vibration, and your attitude is an attitude of lack. If you do that, it will be an attitude of lack, of lacking abundance. And yes, you will be able to keep money through the years, but that money will never come easily, because your own belief that you have to be very unhappy and work very hard to get money, it will become true. And you will attract the same thing that you are feeling. And if you take a look around, you will see that some of the richest people are people who also really love their jobs. So it's not about rejecting money, it's about selling your life force for money. Literally selling for a piece of paper what could make you alive and happy. It's very difficult to reach immortality if you are keeping yourself again and again, day after day, in an environment which is stealing your life energy and not nourishing it. And if you are in this situation, think about it. It's a trap, and it's a never-ending cycle. You go to a job which you don't love, and that creates certain needs in you. You are unhappy and unfulfilled, so you have the need of really distracting yourself and having a lot of distractions which you have to pay for. You are stressed, and that creates another need. You need to pay for maybe parties or substances which make you relax, or therapies. You invested your money in a beautiful car or in a big house to feel that you are actually going somewhere with that job that you have and that is taking you all this life force and all this energy. And now you have to keep those things, and it also costs money. So you think that your job is paying for all your needs, but you don't realize that your job, if you are not happy with it, it's also creating a lot of hundreds of other needs, which you won't have had on the first place if you will not have that job. After some time, you have been so unhappy for many years that you just want to retire, and you keep that job to be able to not have that job. And that is just to start with. There is also a lot of different emotional issues that can be related with keeping a job that you don't like. Don't worry, I'm aware of how the society works, and I'm not telling you to just leave everything and go and live in the forest. But I really need to talk about this topic because that can really affect your path towards immortality, or simply your path towards rejuvenation. Just wait till I finish the whole explanation before maybe thinking that it is too idealistic to talk like that. Let me give you an example. Let's say there is a man, we are gonna call him John. When the grandparents of John were young, they even struggled to eat. The grandparents of this man were really afraid of hunger and were seeing people actually suffering from hunger around. After some time, things improved, things went better for them. They moved somewhere else, they made money, and now their grandkid John have had a very easy economical situation since his childhood. Even if life have always been economically easy for John, the fear of hunger that his grandparents had is playing a role in his life now. Maybe the father of John grew up thinking that he had a debt with his parents. Grew up feeling, oh, my parents have been unhappy their entire life just to give me something, and now I have to pay for it, otherwise I'm a bad person. Then that man made himself unhappy and had a kid, and he gave the exact same idea and the exact same feeling to his kid. So now we have John. His reality is far away from his grandparents' reality. He grew up with money, with a very good economical situation. He has all the opportunities like anyone else to do everything he would wish to do. And it's impossible for this man to actually suffer from hunger. But even if the reality around him doesn't match this anymore, he will have inherited this idea, this psychological pattern from his grandparents. And doesn't matter the actual reality he has around, he will be feeling that if he doesn't work, he will literally die of hunger. Maybe he has also inherited ideas about not having any value as a human being if he doesn't work so much, of betraying his family if he doesn't work so much. And maybe the job that he is doing is not the job that he wished to be doing. But as humanity have been living almost in slavery in many parts of the world for a long time, now that things got a little better, we have this man who is slavering himself, voluntarily doing a job that he doesn't love at all, just because of the psychological patterns that he inherited. So if that cycle is going on and on and on, there won't be any spiritual progress in humanity. Still nowadays in some families, when their kids want to be, let's say, artists, or any kind of unconventional job, it's taken as a tragedy. Many people around will have the impulse of discouraging somebody who wants to do something different, or who wants to do something which doesn't seem easy to achieve. That's because many people, consciously or unconsciously, they carry that bitterness of not having been able to fulfill their wishes. But now you may tell me, okay, so what do I do? I could not make my childhood dream true, so now what? Did I do something wrong? You didn't do anything wrong, and I don't want any of you to feel bad at all. Every single person has a unique, precious, divine path, and all of you are born in the perfect circumstances for your soul to reach the highest level of light on earth. Actually, you are the one who is choosing which circumstances do you want to be born in before you come to earth. So sometimes it was necessary, it was the only actual option you had to be in a job that you didn't like for many years because of what you have been told to, because you literally didn't have any other option. And that is not a problem, because that for sure was in your path for a reason. Maybe through that job you learn qualities that now are precious in your soul. Maybe you learned how to deal with conflicts. Let's say you have been in a horrible job where everybody was trying to hurt each other. Okay, maybe you needed that training to develop a very good intuition and very good instincts. And now you have this amazing quality. You look at somebody and you just can read that person and you know if you can trust that person or not. Intuition is actually a form of contact with your soul, and it's a precious thing. So even if that job was not your dream, you learned that because of that job, and now you have this beautiful thing in you. Maybe you worked for your kids and you learned what it is to give yourself fully to somebody. Maybe you had to develop confidence that you would not have developed if you would not have been in that job. There is probably 100 things that you have developed and that makes you now a more beautiful person. Even if you had to be lifeless and bored in a job for some years, for you to develop a deep and true wish of embracing life, then it was worth it. Your path as a soul, it's bigger than just your occupation. Everything happens for a reason. I know it is a cliche, but it's true. And you can see how some people, they have their dream job since they are very, very young, and their life is far from perfect, and they probably also have sufferings. So of course life and the path of every soul have a bigger dimension than that. How many unhappy actors, for example, have you seen? Even if they could achieve their dream job and that really, really wished thing that everybody thought they wouldn't achieve. I'm just telling you that for you to understand that you haven't wasted any single minute in your life. That everything truly have a purpose, and that the only thing which makes you valuable is not what you do or what you have done. It's just who you are and your soul, and what people can see and feel in your eyes. In your soul, in your energy, there is your value. The only purpose of this message is to tell you that it doesn't matter how many sunsets have you been on earth. It doesn't matter how many years have you been on earth. If you want to take the path of immortality, you have to take into consideration right now. If in your job you are like that fish outside the water, you may think that the job that you wish to do is a stupid thing and that it won't benefit anyone. You may think, why should I care about it now? But you have to remember that with whatever you want to do, you will be fulfilling your soul, and that energy of fulfillment, that growth that you will have, will truly impact the entire planet. Think about it. How many things do you know that can impact the entire planet? Your fulfillment, your happiness does. You being in the place where your soul is asking you to be does. You being a fish which is inside the water benefits the balance of nature. And nature and its divine balance is what is holding the entire earth. And that same energy which keeps everything in balance will support you if you decide to make a change in your life and do what you love to do.